Next, we are going to see third ventricle. See, this is the third ventricle. Third ventricle is not a cavity, rather it is a cleft. It's a narrow gap. This is the narrow gap between two thalami and hypothalamus. The right thalamus and left thalamus, right hypothalamus and left hypothalamus. Between these thalamus and hypothalamus, there is a very narrow space. That is the basically third ventricle. You see, this is lateral ventricle, fourth ventricle. Now, right and left lateral ventricle through foramen of Monro, the CSF enter into third ventricle. So, third ventricle has got anterior wall, posterior wall, roof, floor, and lateral wall. So, with this diagram, you can explain. See, this is the schematic diagram just for understanding. This is third ventricle. Anterior wall, posterior wall, roof, floor. Now, these two are the foramen of Monro. Through that, CSF enter here. Then from third ventricle, it enter into fourth ventricle through cerebral aqueduct. Now, this is a diagram by which you can explain the body. Diagram from Thrassia, very easy diagram. This is the third ventricle. So, third ventricle, this is anterior wall, this is floor, posterior wall, roof. Now, anterior boundary of third ventricle is formed by anterior commissure. Anterior commissure is a type of commissural fiber, white matter. Then lamina terminalis, white matter, lamina terminalis. In the floor, we have optic chiasma, infundibular recess, mammillary bodies. These are the structure in the floor. This is the floor. Posteriorly, we have posterior commissure, again commissural fiber, pineal gland, posterior commissure, pineal gland, and cerebral aqueduct. These are the posterior structure. Roof is formed by this ependyma. Ependyma between the two thalami, this is the roof. Then the lateral wall is formed by the thalamus above and hypothalamus below. So if you see the specimen in the lab also, you cannot differentiate which is thalamus and which is hypothalamus. They look same. So to differentiate thalamus and hypothalamus, you have to imagine an oblique line from foramen of Monro or interventricular foramen, an oblique line from interventricular foramen to cerebral aqueduct. Above this line is a thalamus and below this line is a hypothalamus. Thalamus and hypothalamus both are gray matter. Both contain a lot of neuron cell body. So thalamus and hypothalamus, they form the lateral wall of third ventricle. So with this diagram is more than enough. So if you remember this diagram, you can explain the third ventricle wall boundary. This is lateral wall, this is roof, this is floor, this is anterior wall, and this is posterior wall. All structure are written over here, so you can explain. So this is the third ventricle boundaries. These are boundaries of third ventricle. Again, you say third ventricle boundary is same in better diagram. Here you can make out lateral ventricles, and here you have third ventricle. This is original specimen. This is the floor of third ventricle. Within the third ventricle, you have thalamus, hypothalamus, which contain the nuclei. So this is third ventricle. It can be a short node. Third ventricle is usually, see now, this is the original specimen of our lab. So with that file, this you can make out, this is thalamus. This is interventricular foramen. This is interventricular foramen. This is third ventricle. This is thalamus. This is hypothalamus. This is third ventricle. Here you have lateral ventricle. So that's about the ventricles. Thalamus and hypothalamus you will see in physiology. Now applied anatomy. If there is any tumor in third ventricle, it can cause obstruction in the flow. The lateral ventricle and third ventricle size become bigger and large in tumor. This is the tumor of third ventricle. These are the various pictures of tumor of third ventricle. This is MRI of tumor of third ventricle. This is MRI. Again the CT scan. This is hydrocephalus because of blockage of the CSF, hydrocephalus. Same the hydrocephalus. Then if there is any tumor in third ventricle, it can cause glycosuria because the thalamus is there in the lateral wall of third ventricle that is responsible for your glucose metabolism also. So due to that, there can be glycosuria. Glucose in the urine is known as glycosuria. Then thalamus also is responsible for ADH, antidiuretic hormone. So due to tumor over there, it can cause also the diabetes insipidus. The diabetes insipidus is a condition in which there is excessive urine polyuria of low specific gravity. Urine can be as much as 32 liter per day. It is different than the diabetes mellitus. Diabetes mellitus, usually we call it sugar, but this is diabetes insipidus. So this is about the ventricle. Now next